Hi, welcome. How are you? I hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. We're going to take a look at my collection of Lev Gleason boy comics from the golden age of comics, the 1950s. This is my whole collection, other than the book that we previously looked at, number 48. We're going to take a look through. Since I already have them all unbagged and I'm organizing, I thought this would be a perfect time to do a video and look at my collection of boy comics. These span from 1950 to 1955. We're going to take a look, and the covers themselves are so verbose that it might take us a while. This could be at least a half-hour long video. It might be two parts. We'll see. So this is March 1950. It's number 51. Boy, 52 pages, a full-size mag. There's our guy Crime Buster and Squeaks. We just met them recently in the past day or two. If you're new to the channel, or if you're interested in Boy, there's another video before this talking about a specific issue, number 48. But here we have number 51. In this and every issue, 3 feature-length CB Illustories. Lev Gleason publisher, Charles Biro and Bob Wood editors. Keep 'em hungry for a while longer, Craig. I'll come around again, but this time I'll shave their whiskers, he says. That's CB, Crime Buster. He's piloting, and then he's got Squeaks as the co-pilot right there out front. Come closer, CB, with your motor roaring. Maybe it'll scare him off. I'm getting tired. I can't keep out of their reach much longer. How awesome is this cover? So this guy, I guess his name is Craig. He's a friend of Crime Buster and Squeaks. Parachutes. He's got a tree landing. This happens to parachutists. It's happened to me a couple times. And then he's got crocodiles snapping at his heels. In this issue, and then of course we got this thing that says Lev Gleason Integrity Publications. In this issue, CB and the Deaf One. How inferior can a complex get? You'll see a man rise from the depths of despair with the help of some homespun CB psychology and plenty of action. What was the cure for this man's hopeless despair? The man who made words kill. The words of a villain utters can be as deadly as the lead in a pistol. CB and the jealous partner. Hang in there, guys. I'm just getting warmed up. I'm sorry with the misspeaking. More than clashing personalities, supply a rocketing series of events that make this story a hair stander upper. Biro is something else, isn't he? I know it's so tempting to keep going. Don't you want to find out about CB and the Deaf One? I kind of do. Let's see if it's the first. We got the jealous partner, Norman Moore. It looks great. Look at this. So we got the splash page showing us the same action scene from the cover. That will be the climax of this first story. What's this? Whoa. Points on Championship Boxing by Gus Lesnevich. This is great. Oh man, I didn't remember that I didn't know this was in here. This is cool. I want to take a closer look at all that. Been a long time since I've read these and gone through these. The Man Who Made Words Kill. CB and the Deaf One. Oh, is he getting ready to commit suicide by jumping off a bridge? I think he is. It said something about, what did it say CB is going to do? A psychological, homespun CB psychology. He's going to help this guy with some homespun CB psychology. This looks good. Can't keep going. We got to keep going. We can't stop. We got to keep going. Number 57, September. This would be also 1950. September 1950. Still 52 pages, full-size mag. In this issue, 2 complete CB Illustories. Lenny was a coward from string bean to strong man. Oh, I like this cover. This is an interesting cover. So what's going on here? It says 928. Yea, Claiborne. Hillcrest is full of sissies. Run, Lenny. Run to Perkins' store and call the team. Take one step, freckle puss, and I'll smack you. You heard him, Josh. He'll hit me if I do. That's interesting. This looks great. going to be good. This is from String Bean to Strong Man, I believe. Or maybe it's the other story. Lenny was a coward. Yeah, that's Lenny. This is Lenny was a coward. In case of fire, blow. Don't touch. Insured. Engine room. For midgets only. Distillery. Do you think did kids really draw or paint on their cars like that back in 1950? CB. In Lenny was a coward. This looks really good. Looks like it's going to be another great Charles Byro story with Norman Moore illustration, and it looks really good. I mean, to me. Maybe not to you. Maybe. Okay, this is a lower grade. This is probably a 1.8. All this stuff I was purchasing for around $5 in 1.8, 2.0, 2.5, and sometimes 3.0 condition. October 25th, 1950 is our date stamp, number 60. Oh, here's the contest. So the contest has begun. See inside for free 10 live monkeys. So we're going to look inside. We got to see what the contest is. But I remembered we have this. I think we might have the issue where they announce the winners of the 10 free live monkeys. And in this issue, Ironjaw returns. Ironjaw returns. The dreaded terror of two continents is again on his vicious march of vengeance against Crimebuster. Oh, this is going to be good. Look, they've got Ironjaw. Okay, this is kind of a suggestive cover. I'm just noticing this now. I mean, I noticed it before. I know I saw this before, but you know, there's a phallic thing going on here. But Ironjaw is getting his hair pulled by, look at Squeaks. Oh, he's doing his part. He's something else. Two Crimebuster thriller stories. The Coming of Ironjaw and Ironjaw's Escape into Prison. This is actually a comic. I mean, for all you Ironjaw fans out there, I know that Disney is getting ready to bring Ironjaw back, and they're going to put him in some sort of a television program for kids, and everyone's going to know who Ironjaw is. So this is the one. This is the Ironjaw one. Number 60. Okay, number 61. We get the more Ironjaw because he's new and he's being returned. He's been around. He's been in other comics, I think. Another low grade. It's January 1951. Let go, you fool. We'll both be killed. Boing. Jump, Squeaks, jump. It's a train cover. Squeaks is throwing coal at Ironjaw's head. That's what's making the boing sound. Featuring Dilly Duncan as Scoop Duncan of Dorset High. He's a kid reporter, and they're trying to make him like Archie, but it's really not funny. It's still kind of a crime thing, but they're really trying to make it seem like, you know, he's a teenager that's sort of like Archie. That's why he looks like this. Even though it's a crime comic still, and he's a reporter. The Death Chase and Ironjaw's Escape to Conquer. Is that it? Ironjaw's Escape to Conquer. Norman Moore. This panel, they use this panel a lot. The brooding CB, telling it like it is. Look at little CB floating heads narrating to us. Dilly Duncan, alias Scoop Duncan of Dorset High. This looks good. I just like this art. And I also, I mean, if it's not evident by now from these last two videos, or three videos, however long it's been, I've been talking about Lev Gleason. I mean, I've been into it for a while, but I'm just now sharing it with you guys and telling you about this stuff. I like Lev Gleason. I like Charles Byro's writing. I mean, that's because he writes every single one. All these comics are all written by this one guy. The covers that we like so much, all the weird interiors, the weird stuff that's happening all comes from this guy right here, Charles Byro. So I just discovered that I liked his writing. So that made me want to keep buying these low-priced Golden Age comics. Special Flying Issue, 2 Hair-Raising Air Adventures. Number 65, this is May of 1951. Now, 10 free monkey winners announced. See inside. So we're going to take a look inside and see who won the free monkeys. So I mentioned this earlier, maybe today or yesterday in a comment, talking about this thing. Talking about Squeaks. And about how cool he is, about how he seems to be able to understand English. He clearly can understand English. If you come any closer, it'll be the pearly gates, CB says. Even though, well, he's got a reserve right here. I think that's supposed to be his reserve. I'm not sure. Hey, Crime Buster, don't wait too long to open the other chute. Yeah, he has a reserve right here. And then, oh, he's saying if he comes in close. Oh, I'm not sure. I mean, is he afraid? Crime Buster usually doesn't exhibit fear. So Squeaks, he appears to be able to understand English. So I thought that it was kind of interesting that they did this contest. Ooh, you are in demand if you can draw. This is for kids. This is boy comics. That's surprising, isn't it, that this is in boy comics? 1951. Where are we at? Somewhere down here. May 1951. Okay, so what we were talking about, or what I was saying, was that Squeaks can speak English. He can understand English. Then they run this contest in here for kids to win 10 free monkeys. So you get a monkey. If you're one of the 10 chosen kids, you get a monkey delivered to your door. So I just imagined kids that were longtime readers of Boy and just and loved Boy comics and loved CB and Uncle Charlie Biro, but most of all they loved Squeaks, because Squeaks is kind of the hero of this comic. It's like if the Boy comics was the Fantastic Four, Squeaks would be the Thing. He comes in at the end, and he typically saves the day. And but but instead. Where's the monkey at? Instead, they get a little miniature squirrel monkey that's about this big probably and comes in a box with holes punched in it, and maybe the monkey's not going to live very long. But it doesn't speak English like Squeaks. It's like it's a little monkey. It's a squirrel monkey, I think. They maybe not as small as I just showed, but it's a little monkey. It's a monkey about this big instead of like a big Squeaks that can speak English. Like, look. You're thinking you're going to get Squeaks. Here are the 10 big monkey contest winners. We asked you to write a slogan typifying the American way of life, and you sure came through. Out of the many, many thousands of entries, it was most difficult to single out the 10 winners, but here they are. A wonderful monkey, cousin of our own Squeaks, is being sent to these winners. Okay, that's the first time I've seen them differentiate and let us know that it is a cousin of our own Squeaks. Okay, it's a cousin of Squeaks. Okay, good. I'm glad we get the slogans. I was hoping that we were going to get the write a slogan typifying the American way of life. So here's first prize. First prize winning slogan, USA, Unity, Security, Always. Won by Janet Henneke, Rural, RD, it's what does that mean? Rural Development Number 2, Media, Pennsylvania. Number 2, Carl Belomini, Carl, 619 Wenzel, Pittsburgh, PA. We don't get to see what Carl wrote. Ken Ketchum, Route 1, La Kukla, Oklahoma. We got to read all the addresses and names just because of how cool they are. And then also we get all these interesting, different illustrations. Each kid got a specific illustration of Squeaks applied to their names. So that's really cool if you ask me. Harold Dean, 2011 2nd Avenue, Opelika, Alabama. We're all over the country, aren't we? Number 5, Brent Palmer, 31 Gilbert Avenue, Blasdell, New York. Oh, look at Squeaks is flexing some muscles for us, looking tough. Number 6, Tommy Hull, 215 North Mangum Street, Durham, North Carolina. Number 7, William Knowles, 177 Hillside, Holyoke, Massachusetts. 18, Henry Torres, 929 Santa Fe Drive, Denver, Colorado. This is the first out west that we've gotten. Number 9, Larry Randall, 1304 Eden Street, Elkhart, Indiana. And then number 10, D. Johnston, 3213 North Front Street, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So I think D. Johnson is a girl's name. Everybody else looks like a boy except for our first place winner, Janet. So but we're all over the place. But it's just, for the most part, it's the East Coast. Everything here is the South, the East Coast. There's Oklahoma and there's Denver. There were over 8,000 other worthy slogans submitted. We want to thank all contestants and ask you to watch for other contests scheduled to appear in Boy Comics. Better luck next time. Winners will be notified by a personal letter from Lev Gleason, the publisher. Isn't that cool? Here's the text story. Scarecrow gets a lift. It's going to be about Scarecrow and Scarecrow is one of the little wise guys from Daredevil comics. It's going to be about Scarecrow and a camel. It looks kind of cool. This television bank looks cool too. Is it also a radio? It looks neat. How to wow, again, this is Boy Magazine, you guys. How to Hypnotize. Boy Comics. Although there's so much writing in here that I can't imagine that many little kids really wanting to read any of this. Coffee beans, which they stick in place with gummy sap from trees. I never heard that before. Is that true? Do they have coffee in Uganda? I don't know. The little fat lady, Carrie Akers, was only 34 inches tall and weighed 304 pounds. Electric spot reducer. Take off ugly fat. These ads, a lot of it doesn't seem like it's for kids, does it? And then the writing, Byro's writing is so heavy. There's so much of it. It's here's basically every, I'm going to tell you, just jump to the quick, okay? Basically every story involves the introduction of, and I'm saying basically every story, because there's ones that are different. If you've got Iron Jaw versus CB, it's going to be different. But your typical stories are going to be an introduction of characters that we've never met or heard of before. They're somehow going to cross paths with Crime Buster and Squeaks. Their problems are going to need to be solved by Crime Buster and Squeaks, and that's how it happens. It's every issue, and just about all of them are crime stories. People making poor decisions is what it's about. Number 61, July, is this 51? Or did we skip ahead? No, we're in July of 1951. It's number 67. In this issue, 2 Crime Buster thriller stories, Last Laugh Briggs and A Victim's Silent Revenge. I've got his gun, Briggs. Slam on the brakes. So Byro likes to do this thing. You'll notice this a lot. Byro covers will almost always be the most exciting part of the interior of the comic. So he's showing you a highlight, a preview of what's coming when you read the story, the action that's going to happen. And he likes to draw these little lines, and he shows lots of movement, and a lot of stuff is going on in these Byro covers. So in this one, we get to see, CB snatching a gun out of this guy's hand, and he and Squeaks are clutching to the top of a fast-moving car. He's got lines showing how fast the car is going. Look at Squeaks, man. He's so cool. Crime Buster in Last Laugh Briggs. It looks cool, doesn't it? He's blowing a big bubble. This looks neat. Who's this? William Overgard. It's a different artist. So we're seeing somebody different. Usually we're always seeing Norman Maurer with these lead stories. We're still 52 pages, and everything still looks really good, and it's very high quality. And the ads still don't look like they're ads for kids. Oh, look. The Intrepid Slugger. This looks like a really good text story about Slugger and the Navy. That looks good. Slugger's the leader of the little wise guys over there in Daredevil comics. Another Lev Gleason title. This is number 90. We jumped way ahead. Okay, so we just jumped from whenever that was to all the way up to April 27, 1953. So it looks like we jumped a couple years. We went from number 67 to number 90. Okay, this guy's, his name is Sniffer. That's his name. So this is Sniffer. He's a comedic gangster type character that often is involved with Ironjaw in side stories in this comic book. They must have found out, or maybe, Charles Byro discovered or was receiving enough letters. Whoa, sorry. Dang, that was crazy. Maybe Charles Byro was receiving enough letters from readers that we presume some of them are probably kids, or most of them are kids, we were hoping. And they said they liked Sniffer and Ironjaw. So now he's putting Sniffer and Ironjaw on the cover instead of Crimebuster. I mean, Crimebuster's still up here, but quick, Swami, where is the gold buried? Tell me. It's at a place that belongs to a guy named F. Knox in Tennessee. I see what he's doing there. So Ironjaw is apparently not very smart. In this issue, 2 feature-length thriller stories starring Crimebuster, Sniffer, Ironjaw, Rocky X, and the Claw. All right, we got to open up to just look at the Claw. That's my main thing I want to look at. This is the Ironjaw story in the back. Where do they put the Claw at, I wonder? Well, this looks good, too. Look at this. Look at this splash page. Crimebuster in Love and Hate. Property of State Hospital for the Criminally Insane. Ugh, Louver, I can't fire. You're in the way. Duck. Louver's the cop that Crimebuster teams up with sometimes. And Crimebuster's being strangled by an escaped mental patient. It's a kid's comic, everybody. It's for children. And it looks great. This is 1953. This is still pre-code. Even though it says something about a comics code on the cover, that's not the real comics code that would come later that would be a regulatory commission that would prevent people from doing things in comics. Like, I think Crimebuster just had to stop because his name has crime in it. And they didn't want anything with crime in it anymore, like after 1954 or something. I don't know the exact, I'm not for sure. Not an expert. Just an enthusiast. Sniffer and Ironjaw and Fakers Takers. Where's the Claw story? Did I pass it while I was rambling? Because I don't see the Claw anywhere. Do you guys see the Claw? Did I pass right by the Claw? There's so much here, and it looks really good. Is the Claw in here going up against somebody that we missed? This is that whole Sniffer and Ironjaw, Fakers, Takers. That's the last story. We have the missing murder weapon. Rocky X of the Rock. Okay, here we go. Rocky X of the Rocketeers in The Claw Invades New York City. Okay. Oh, there he is. There he is. That's our guy. Destroy every living thing. We will start a new civilization for the glory of Zilmox. Our planet is poor, but the earth is rich. We shall conquer it. We shall kill its people. Kill, kill, kill. Hail Claw! Hail Claw! Wow, that looks freaking great. I just destroyed my voice trying to make the Claw not sound too racist. Number 94, October. This is probably 1953. This is a great nitrous oxide cover. October 1953. So we get Sniffer anesthetizing somebody and yanking his tooth out. This looks really cool. You seem so happy about my pulling this tooth, Egghead. I think I'll pull another. So Egghead, I'm guessing, is probably not a good friend of Sniffer. Ironjaw's outside the window watching. Sniffer has doped this guy up with nitrous oxide, and then he's pulling his teeth out. I like this. He's got one of his feet. Look at this, planted up in this guy's sternum, and he's just yanking his teeth out. It's a children's comic. Yeah, this is Lev Gleason also like selling kids things inside the comic. I like 10 ballpoint pens, only 75 cents. So this is like appealing to kids that have a business sense. They're like, okay, if I can get 10 ballpoint pens for 75 cents and 2 Lev Gleason Comics coupons, and I can sell those pens for $0.10 a piece, I'll make 25 cents. Whew. Seems predatory, but I mean, I think that's probably what. Why else would you need 10 pens? Who knows? Here's all the titles. So, Crime Does Not Pay, that's their top title. Dilly, that's the title they're trying to push to make it seem like it's Archie, but it isn't. Crime and Punishment, it's like Crime Does Not Pay. Daredevil, it's like Boy Comics. Black Diamond Western, it's a Western, but it's got a lot of talking in it because it's written by Charles Biro. Lover's Lane and Boy Loves Girl. These are two romance comics that have lots of talking in them because they're written by Charles Biro. Crime Buster in the Dangerous Jungle. This looks great. So now Crime Buster looks like he's doing some Indiana Jones type stuff. He looks like he's in South America, right? Look, or Central America, Mayans or Aztecs. And it looks like he's packing a hunting rifle. No costume, though. He's wearing slacks and a sweater. But it's still the sweater with the big C on it. Still his colors. Looks good. So we've dropped down from 52 pages to 36 pages now. We're smaller. Still 10 cents, but it's a smaller book now. They're all 36 pages at this point. Number 97. This would be January 1954. January 54. America's Greatest Laugh Getter. Really? They're just lying at this point, right? There's no. Have you seen all of the? There's tons of America's Greatest Laugh Getter as we see a horse and carriage go hurtling down a cliff, and Squeaks and CB are jumping out and hanging on to a tree. The world-shattering Rocky X. We're getting science fiction thrown in again. This is something kind of new. They didn't do that before, and then we still get Sniffer and Ironjaw, trying to please the readers. I think. Trying to get sales, but America's Greatest Laugh Getter just seems like an untruth to me. There's no humor in here, really. And the humor that they try, what's supposed to be humor, is not funny. Crime Buster, Greatest Adventures, Crime Buster's Greatest Adventures, Boy Comics number 101. March 26th a.m. This is 53. 54. Is it already 54? Hit me. It is May of 1954. Okay. May of 1954. 4 feature-length stories: The Long Arm of Justice, Emergency Shoot Failed, Rocky X in Welcome to Spy, Sniffer and Ironjaw in Oily Boyd. Oily Boyd. This is a cool cover. That crazy fool is out to get us, even at the cost of his own life. They're at like some sort of, is this an air show? Or a race? It's an air race. It's an air race is what's happening here. Crime Buster's Greatest Adventures. This is number 104. It's October 1954. Big Thrills 4 stories. Streetcar in the Jungle, The Innocent Ones, Sniffer and Ironjaw in Boxing Boneheads, Rocky X and Louie, Who's Got the Louie, all in this issue. It's a warning. Something's gone wrong. Look at this cool thing. This cool ship. Okay, so this is Crime Buster and Squeaks leaving some sort of warning with the smoke signal thing happening here. Integrity, Boy Comics, Lev Gleason Enterprises Corporation. C, Crime Buster battle 2 desperate public enemies on a speeding train. It's Stark. See inside. Come, Eddie. You'd rather stay, wouldn't you, Eddie? A lot of airplane covers. You noticing that? Maybe that was, they're hoping that was increasing sales somehow. CB's Greatest Adventures. 4 full-length thrillers. Yes, Ma'am, General, The Big Shot, Carrying the Grudge, also Sniffer and Ironjaw. All right, so something's happened because Ed Wood's name is no longer on the cover, right? We missed that a couple months back. It's been a couple months. Been a couple months since Ed Wood was on here. He disappeared back here. His name came off because he got arrested for murdering somebody, and he's in prison at this point probably, or getting ready to go to prison. I'm guessing. That's what's happening here. Cool. Football cover. And it's a classic Biro cover. You've got the dotted line showing the action of the fumble happening. And then you've got all this movement, all this action. What's Squeak? I missed this down. We love Squeak, Squeak, Squeak. Happy birthday, dear Sniffer. Now together. Squeak, 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 meaning you'd be in a hurry if you knew what was about to happen. Oh, he's telling us it's going to be something really good that's going to happen next. Inside, there's going to be some action adventure. I'm wondering, it says at the top, it keeps saying CB's Greatest Adventures, but these aren't reprints. These aren't. This is all new stuff. I don't believe any of this stuff is reprints. I think that he's just thinking that this helps sell. Greatest Adventures is going to sell. Maybe they're they're competing and getting destroyed at this point by Fawcett and Captain Marvel, is what I'm thinking. Is who's beating them, probably. Crime is on the way out. 4 full-length thrillers. Whose team are you on? Out of circulation, Rocky and Unsung Heroine. Also, Sniffer and Ironjaw. We've all had about enough of your rot, Jabbo. Somebody's got to call your bluff. This does it. I told you the next time I caught you two fighting, I'd toss you both off the team. You can let me go now. The coach saved him. Even CB, Crimebuster's even wearing just a polo shirt at this point with his C on it. This motley crew is not a football team, nor is it the Mr. America contest. It is, however, a most rare picture of the original Deadly Dozen. See 'em. Count 'em. Count 'em. Can you name them? See inside. Just wait till Ironjaw sees this picture. Smile, everybody. So, as longtime readers, we're supposed to be able to recognize who all these villains and gangsters are. Because this is the Sniffer supporting cast of Sniffer and Ironjaw, which is a comic about villains. It's like a comedic comic strip. Maybe that's why he was saying that this is a laugh riot or whatever, because of Sniffer and Ironjaw. But this is it. It's supposed to be comedy, but it involves crime, and the main characters are convicts and criminals. But it's comedy. This is an interesting cover that I wish wasn't so faded. I mean, I've seen what this looks like, and you can tell what it probably looks like without the fade, but it has this interesting, like, red, white, and blue thing happening, this, like, colors kind of melding and everything. It's very faded, but they did this thing with the letters that they didn't do it. They only did it a few times, and this is the only issue I have that has it. This is number 111. It's May of maybe 55 at this point. I know you probably hate this part of the video where I stop and then try and find the indicia and then sometimes get lost and don't find it. It's May of 1955. This is number 111. See, Wild Campus Adventure at its best. Wild Campus Adventure. Okay, so what's happened at this point is that the storyline is changing, and Crimebuster is now going to school. Get off. I'm playing on third, not you, CB. Jabbo, what's the idea? That was a sure double play. This could cost us the game. I haven't read these. I don't know about this Jabbo guy yet, but he seems to be a recurring character that is a nemesis for Crimebuster. I don't think they get along. And also, it looks like it's changing. What does it say? Wild Campus Adventure. CB in His Last Friend. More Biro, and this, I'm going to be honest with you, this looks like Joe Kubert, and it very well could be. I think this is. So I think this is Joe Kubert in here. We're going to look and see if we see his name anywhere, but I'm just telling you, just all it took was one